minus 30 seconds and counting.
You know, this used to be a hell of a good country. I can't understand what's going wrong with it.
Chaos. T minus 15.
Oh, they're not scared of you. They're scared of what you represent.
10, 9, ignition sequence start.
What you represent to them is freedom.
We have ignition. All engines are running. We have liftoff. We have liftoff.
Good morning, and welcome to the WBTM Internet Radio Network. This is Chaos Radio number 136, and I can tell you we're proud to have our good friend Rick and my co-host of the Chaos Radio show, Rose, back in his seat today.
Back in the saddle again, back where a friend is a friend.
There you go. Damn, that was good, Rick.
I thought about being a country western
You
singer.
should have been a country and western star.
Country and western star.
That's right.
Like Gene Autry.
Yeah.
Hello, Gene.
And we got over here way to our left. You can't see in the picture. It's Josh Samuels, who's, I guess, our producer today. But if he wants to join in and talk here in a little bit, he's certainly welcome to do so.
Yep, he is. More than welcome.
Yes.
He's been doing a good job.
Yes, he has.
Yeah.
And we're getting to where we can do more and more here at the WBTM Internet Radio and TV networks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to the LoneStarTeaParty.us website, you can also watch us live now. Yeah. And I'm sure you'll let us know if the audio there is not working right.
That's exciting.
You always do. And you can visit LoneStarTeaParty.us and check things out that are going on there. Everything is fluid. There's stuff happening all around the world. It's crazy. It's upside down. It's out of control.
Yeah, things are happening around the world, and yet they're connected in some fashion. They have connectivity, meaning there's somebody orchestrating all of this.
You bet.
And who would that be? Gee, the globalist.
Yeah, the globalist.
Aren't they a fun bunch?
Mm-hmm. And you guys, of course, we've seen this mall thing in Kenya play out over the last 4 or 5 days. And it's nothing more than just killing Christians.
Americans. That's an American hangout.
Yeah. I mean, you take a look at it, and you would, that may not even look like a Kenyan mall. That may look like an American mall when you look at the people running in and out of it.
No, I'm not sure what a bunch of Americans are doing over in Kenya.
I can't figure that out either. That'd be the last places.
Send me a picture.
One of the last places I would think that I would go on vacation on. Two.
Yeah, much less hang out.
Oh, man.
So send me some pictures of these so-called Americans.
It wasn't that long ago in certain parts of Africa, they're still hacking each other up with machetes.
Deepest, darkest jungle. Go ahead.
Yeah, pull that mic up closer, Josh.
They're still doing that, guys.
Yeah.
You know what? Hang on. I got to adjust you.
Just adjust the volume.
That didn't sound right neither.
No, it didn't.
We can make a mistake, can't we?
That's right, and I did then. What was that, a gaffe?
We can correct them.
Once it's said, you can't correct it.
You can't back it up,
No.
but you can say over it.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I mean, you look at it, it's just Christians being attacked. That one lady said she had to, she remembered a Muslim poem that she had heard somewhere and had said that, and she happened to know some stuff out of the Quran, and they let her go. And
lucky for her.
Yeah. So, there's two things that I guess will work for you. You either know a poem or some things about the Quran, or have you a pet pig along.
Yeah, a fast
Yeah.
pet pig.
Yeah. A fast pet pig.
Run like a banshee.
Yeah.
Run for cover.
But you look at that stuff going on there, and of course now we find out, or at least they're saying right now, we don't know if what's true, what's not true. We don't know if there's really 3 Americans there or not. And I will tell you right now, there's Somali Americans, and to me, really, you get right down to it, there's Somalis that live in America.
Right.
They're not Americans.
No.
Americans wouldn't do such atrocities.
Nope.
I mean, any American that's sane.
Well, I'm not saying there couldn't be a Somalian that has his so-called business together.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet you he's converted to Christianity.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things. I mean, what we see is over the past couple generations or so, prior to that, when people would immigrate to America, they would accept American values. Mm-hmm. And now you have the left in our country saying, no, don't become like us. Stay the way you are. Well, if the way you are is so great, then just stay in your country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
What
Somalia
is
so
it that
great-
you don't like here that you want to change by virtue of the fact that you came here for something? Did you come here to change it? Or did you come here because you heard it was a good place to live? Which is it?
Or maybe they came here to help destroy it.
I think so. I mean, that seems to be the
I mean,
overwhelming evidence.
when you saw that one quote unquote Somali American that was that eventually martyred himself, and who remembers him other than this video where he says, "Well, come on over. It's a Disneyland here." Mm-hmm. Really?
Well, it probably is to them. I wonder, they probably get funds afforded by the American taxpayer. So, yeah, probably is Disneyland.
Well, I mean, it's the weirdest Disneyland I've ever seen. There's no Mickey or Dumbo or any of those characters. I mean, this is over in the desert where you're getting training to kill yourself.
But you don't see things through his eyes. We see them through ours. Mm-hmm. It's different.
Thank God.
Speaking of vacations in Africa, remember not too long our president was over there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't even make it back to his own fatherland, to Kenya.
Well, he didn't want to identify that too many times.
Nah. He might run into a relative over there and then out him.
Or he might go by the monument that's been erected to him for being from there and making it all the way to the U.S. president.
Or he might have felt obligated to stop by and visit his brother who is still living in a hut. You never know.
Hey,
That'd be his hut.
nothing
brother, right?
nothing like dropping by your brother's hut for a visit.
Yeah, well, you don't want to be seen there,
Oh God! Hey, we've got a caller on the line, and I recognize that number. It's our good friend Craig Owenby.
Morning, guys. Hey, Rick Rose. Good to hear your voice.
Yes, sir. Good to hear yours. I'm glad I'm hearing voices.
Rick's hearing voices, and I do all the
You hear
time.
voices, Rick.
But
I
you know
do.
what? So did that guy in the naval shipyard.
Yeah, he heard voices.
Little bad ones.
Yeah.
And is it true that now that we pretty well confirmed that he had converted to Islam or was about to?
Now I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah.
Last I heard, he was a Buddha.
Well, I had received some data saying that maybe he did convert.
That would be news to know.
That would be news to know.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you Buddhists are not angry
No.
people.
He was at the very least, Rick, I think from what some of the stuff you and I have both seen, he was at the very least exploring that if he had not.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And, who really knows what happened? Sometimes you can convert in your own mind and not really go through any sort of ritual, if you will.
Yeah.
So, it's stark evidence that we've got some real screwballs walking around this country.
That's right. And the problem is not guns. The problem is we're not. Yes, it is people, and also our mental health system that is failing. And so,
Maybe on
you know,
purpose.
yeah, could be.
My brother sent me something earlier this week about gun control. He said before Clinton passed the gun bans on U.S. military bases, there were 0 deaths by shooting. On
Exactly.
military. Since then, there's been like 16 or so.
Exactly.
And what sense does that make? In this time, in this place, we have had how many incidents of brutality from our enemies? Mm-hmm. If it weren't just flying planes into buildings, you would think that the possibility after Nadal Hassan committed his atrocious act that we would have said, wait a minute. They're here, they're perpetrating crimes against our people, including our soldiers. Let's repeal that Clinton BS law.
Yes.
And why would he think of that? I can only wonder, and it won't take me a second to come up with an answer why he would, since he's a progressive. Why?
Well, he actually hated the military, too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, he has effectively turned our military bases into soft targets.
So what's going on? Oh, we can't expect Obama to do that. I know that. But what about Bush? Bush had an opportunity. W had an opportunity to repeal that law. Why didn't he?
And they should have.
Are you listening? W? Call in, please. 714-242-5220. I don't hear it ringing.
Well,
Yeah.
Did you happen to notice that Bob Beckel on Fox challenged the American Muslims, moderates, to stand up and come out against all this Islamic violence?
Oh, Bob's coming around a little bit, ain't
yeah, he is. And hey, let me tell you, what have you heard? Have they been standing up?
No.
I haven't heard one of them.
I hadn't either. Now, of course, they'll march before the UN today and probably condemn it, and at the same time condemn the United States
We haven't turned that place into
as
a
the
parking lot
perpetrator.
yet.
They'll condemn the United States as the perpetrator of the gas attacks.
Oh, man.
Well, we saw how successful that million-man Muslim march was.
Oh yeah, that turned out.
A million motorcycles drowned him out, didn't it?
Yeah. The motorcycles showed up. The Muslims didn't.
Go figure.
And the Muslims had a year in the planning.
There you
The
have it.
bikers had a few weeks. But next up is the truckers.
Yep.
Let's see if they can mount an effective strike.
You know what I'm calling for? An all-out farmers march on Washington with their tractors.
I don't know where you can get. I don't know where you can get that anymore. They're getting too many subsidies.
Yeah, that's right. That CRP
I-
money
I-
sure
I
looks
did-
good.
I do remember in the late 70s when they did that. I was in Washington then.
Yeah.
And I remember all the tractors lining around the mall.
You know what they say about all those farmers, don't you, and ranchers? About their baseball caps? You know, they're creased real tight up front. And so that's from looking in that mailbox for that CRP check.
That's right.
Hey, Rick,
Yeah.
what do you think about Nancy Pelosi saying that the death of the 40-hour work week means more freedom to follow your passion?
Yeah.
I got something for Nancy, and I can't say it on the radio. But I wish she'd find a rock and crawl back under one. But I know she can't find the one she came out from under. What a ding-a-ling-ding bat.
She makes such brilliant statements.
Oh, yeah, she's brilliant, all right. What kind of business is her husband in?
He's in the
Pineapple?
collect money from the government
that's
business.
Right. Yeah, he's been getting all those
He owns
contracts.
Starkist Tuna.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
fisherman.
Yeah, they're fishermen. They get all kinds of breaks and benefits out there, tax breaks, everything else because of the Pelosi's illegal doings what do you call
Hey
it?
guys,
The
I got
brother-in-law
another one for you
system.
here.
Come at
Did
it.
you notice that Michelle Obama has 2 million fake Twitter followers? Fake Twitter followers.
Really?
2 million.
What is that? not surprise
Nothing
me?
surprises me.
Did
They,
you,
they try to influence things by creating false people.
sure. Did y'all
Well,
see
it-
Kind of like the voting pattern.
Yeah, it ranks right up there with the voting by the dead.
Yeah. Did y'all see the post I made of all of her entourage of little helpers?
Yeah,
Little-
she's got a
little
fleet of 'em.
Michelle helpers. Did y'all add up the money? Lord have His mercy.
Well, well, she has something like 40 on her staff or something like that. Is that what it is?
Yeah, at
Yes.
least.
She has 20 personal staff members.
And all of them making 100 G's or so.
Well, a lot of them at the top are, but they're
Yeah.
all the way down to about 30 grand. But just add it all up. I mean, it's a chunk of change.
Well, the one at 30 grand is probably getting all they can steal
Steal.
out of the White House.
Well, they probably eat in the
Yeah.
White House kitchen.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable mess.
Yeah,
That reminds me of Marie Antoinette.
absolutely.
The economy's atrocious. Americans are hurting out there. Nancy Pelosi's telling us to take part-time jobs. And he got the first lady, she's got 40 assistants. I mean, give me a break.
And then meanwhile, the Park Service is producing videos about how the effect that the Muslims have had on women's rights.
Yeah,
You have a right to wear a burqa and get run over. You have a right to be raped by your husband that's 70 and the bride that's 6 years old.
and so what happened to Marie Antoinette?
She lost her head.
Cock-a-dow.
Yeah.
Bitty.
Well, you know, this is, I mean, you look at what's going on, this is a cancer on the earth.
Yeah.
It's got to be
Reckoning.
cut out.
It's a reckoning.
Sorry, but really, it's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't care what the president says. Matter of fact is, we consider the president, I know 2 of us sitting here in this room and possibly 3 think that, hey, he's one of them.
Well, that's what I think.
Yep.
I'd like somebody to prove he's not. I'd like to hear their position.
Hey, even going back to his first election campaign, when George Stephanopoulos said something about his faith, and he said, "You mean my Muslim faith?" And Stephanopoulos corrected him and said, "No, your Christian faith."
Yeah.
Yeah. He was very blatant about the fact that he was a Muslim. The only reason he did it was to get elected.
And all those poor, dumb sapsuckers out there just bought into that. That's a decent explanation. I believe that. He just slip of the tongue. And so we know now that that's not true. Of course he's not a Muslim. He just said in his book that he'd side with them, that's all.
Well, he is siding with them. I mean, he's arming Al-Qaeda,
There you go.
who for 10 years, beginning with George W. Bush, was our arch enemy. And now all of a sudden this guy comes into office, and we're brothers.
Sure.
We're brothers in arms here.
And one of his brothers is an officer with the Muslim Brotherhood.
Really.
Oh, yeah.
Keep fundraiser.
Fundraiser.
Yeah, it just
keep
keeps on keeping on.
So
I mean-
how do you equate all of that? How does one rationally come up with an answer to the question, is he or is he not? If it walks like, talks like, quacks like, looks like, maybe it's a duck. Maybe.
I guess the bigger question is, if he is, then does that mean that Al-Qaeda beat us and Al-Qaeda's in control of our country right now?
It's well, at least not Al Qaeda, maybe the Muslim Brotherhood, because you know what, the guy said in the book, what? When the winds change,
When the
he will.
when the winds of change blow,
Yeah.
he said, "I'll side with Islam."
Hello.
He also said he won't believe how I'm going to help them if I get reelected.
Hello.
And there's also a rumor out there floating right now that Al Qaeda is part of the group that got the guns from Fast and Furious.
Hello.
And we know that they're in South America and in Mexico because the cartels have sided with them and training with them and perpetrating some of the same style of killings.
Heads cut off.
Yeah.
I got a bigger question than
Go.
any of that.
Go.
Who's playing Monday Night Football next week?
Al Qaeda and Americans?
My point is, I mean, America's asleep.
Exactly.
Watching Monday Night Football.
Well, now it's Thursday night football.
Not only that,
Then it's Sunday night football. I
sleeping,
mean,
sleeping with the Stars is on there. Oh, I meant dancing.
That's right. Sleeping with the Stars. The Voice.
Oh, yeah.
The X.
Hello.
Whatever. The X Factor, I guess it's called.
They'll find something to divert themselves into thinking about what not to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, one of the points I always try to make is this is the reason why it's so important that we have the answers. Because whenever all this comes tumbling down, I mean, we're the nut jobs right now. But
Well, we're the nut jobs. Yeah.
Right.
Extortionists, as Pelosi described us the other day.
Yeah, I mean, big extortionists. I mean, you look at our... Anyway, you know, whenever all this comes tumbling down, you know, our friends, neighbors, family, they're going to be looking for answers.
Mm-hmm.
And we better be able to provide them the answers, because if we can't, you know, Tom Brokaw's going to.
Yeah.
Barack Obama's going to.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I made a statement, I think, here a couple of weeks ago. I came on the show, and what is a most stark revelation to me is that nobody believes what we're saying. And let me kind of expand that a little bit and tell you, your friends, who perhaps you've known for years, will look at you and say things like, "Well, I don't know. I just don't think that's going on. I don't see how that could happen in America."
And you know, Rick, it's right out in the open.
Because they're not looking. It's hiding in plain view.
Yeah.
And they do not have a person that they're used to listening to that has some kind of presence in the American psyche that they can say is credible. They have guys like us who have become the media so that we can tell them what's going on, and they think we're the nut job.
Right.
Even
Today.
family.
Yeah. Yep.
No.
So we need a person who has credibility, or a number of persons who have credibility, that can go before the American people and tell them what is going on. You know, what did Glenn Beck do when he first started talking and had the red phone sitting beside his desk? And he says, "Call me." And he asked for a number of politicians to side with the truth and to divulge that which is going on. And he had several. We don't know who they are because he promised not to divulge their names. But who in the hell out there among the politicians that we have elected in these seats right now is stepping up? Who? Ted Cruz? Rand Paul? Mike Lee? Count them on your finger. 3 out of 535.
Yeah.
So how in the hell are those three, able to convince the American people totally about what's going on?
Well, I think there is good news. I think one of the things is that the American people are disassociated from their government. We see that with the immigration. You know, we didn't have the huge turnout, but it's not because the Americans aren't against illegal immigration. It's because they don't think that this Congress is going to do anything. It doesn't matter if they show up.
There you
or
go.
not. But we see it with the Obamacare. We showed up. We had 2 million people up in Washington, D.C. and the Republicans still found a reason to pass Obamacare.
Hey.
But
Battle stations torpedo. Man, battle stations torpedo. Sound the general alarm.
Oh, I don't believe that. There's no general alarm.
well, I think there are indicators that there are Americans that are waking up. The mass.
Stations torpedo.
Oh, shut up, guy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm just trying to make a point here.
He got
Mel.
out of reason that guy came on.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, reason that guy came on was because you just touched on it. Everybody, listen to me. If you don't want Obamacare, you must rise up. The whole country must rise up and tell them no.
Yeah, just peek out from under the covers, if you would, and say no.
Call them up, fax them, go by their damned offices. Whatever you have to do it this week. You got 6 days.
6, count them.
6.
days. And it's all over but the crying. Let me tell you something. The Congress could have not, that's N-O-T, not K-N-O-T, but N-O-T, not funded Obamacare the very first day after it passed. They could have said, no way, Jose.
Oh, but guys, we tried the best we could. We were really fighting against it, but
Running
they
scared of the
won,
media.
And now we have to.
Leading
We have
up
to
to
do
that,
it.
what did they do, though? They talked bad about it, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then what did they do on the day that they voted to fund it and create a CR for it? So what were they really thinking? They were lying
Exactly.
to us.
And this goes back to the premise that I made, and I know others out there did, that this was artificial opposition again from the Republicans whenever they were out there saying, no, we're against Obamacare. I said, wait a second. It's in your interest as a government employee, as a government official, to be for Obamacare because it gives you control of 1/6 of the U.S. economy. I mean, that's a lot of power right there. I mean, would you like control of that, guys, or not?
No, I have no desire.
But as politicians, they lust after it.
Oh, yeah.
And so whenever I started seeing the Republicans say, no, we're against this, we don't need to pass this, I said, you know what? What's the number of you Republicans that are going to have to cut deals for this thing to get passed?
It's all about control. There was a lot of money thrown around.
Sure.
There's still a lot of money being thrown around. It's incredible
money.
what's going on, and they're selling us out.
And from the jump go. Yeah, see, this didn't happen today. This all began just like Josh said. This was a conspiracy against the American people from the jump go, from the get-go, right out of the box. They could have not funded it if they really meant what they said. They had the votes. So there's not but one conclusion. Any given person who has reasonable, deductive reasoning could have said they want it. Mm-hmm. They're going along with it. And that's too early. That's too early in the presidency of Obama for them to have been in some way threatened by VJ, Valerie Jarrett, that if they didn't, she'd get them. Mm-hmm. So it was too early for that. They can't claim, well, we've been threatened. No, you had a given opportunity with no strings attached to NOT fund it, not fund it. Mm-hmm. You went ahead and did it anyway. Not only did you do that, but you wrapped it up in a nice box with shiny paper and a bow and called it a CR, continuing resolution. You not only funded it, you gave it life hereafter.
Yes. Yes.
Now that is treason.
All he had to do was say, hey, this was shoved down the American people's throat.
Yeah.
The biggest percentage of them don't want it. And, it passed without a single Republican vote. And also, the Senate's job is not to initiate bills.
Mm-hmm. No.
The Senate's job is to represent their state. Their state.
Yep.
The House.
Yeah,
Am I not
did-
right
it
here,
did have-
Craig? Take a breath. Am I not?
You're right on most everything. There
Okay.
was one small error. There was one idiot Republican in the House at the time when that first passed who voted for it. He was voted out the next election, but there was one idiot Republican from
Okay, so
Louisiana who voted for
so
it.
that when you have one, that constitutes bipartisan support.
So who can we call on,
Exactly.
guys?
Well,
Go ahead, Craig.
that's exactly how the Democrats view it, and of course, it was kind of funny in the last couple of days when the Republicans did this in the House, voted to defund Obamacare in the continuing resolution, and they had some Democrats vote with them.
Sure.
There were more than one that voted with them, and they called it a bipartisan deal, and the media challenged them on it.
Well, I challenge him on
I don't remember them. I don't remember the Democrats being challenged on saying it was bipartisan by having one vote.
Well, you tell me what all that meant. Was that nothing but lip service? What the hell's going to happen to it when it hits the Senate? You know what they should have done? Left it totally alone and defunded it right there. Just said, no way, it ain't going any further, and kill it. Let me tell you something. I don't believe there's a Republican in the Congress, nor a Democrat, that really wants this to go away. I do not believe that there is one. Now, I hope I'm wrong. If that helps any of you out there think, well, what do you mean, Rick? I hope I'm wrong. But let me tell you something. This is stark. This is what I call a very gifted group of people weaving a web that's going to deceive the total American public. And I mean the real American public, not the foreigners that have moved into this country and usurped our dollar right out of the Congress. They keep funding them too, don't they? Cut them off.
Easy, Rick. Remember your heart
Oh,
money.
and there's a good one right there. We're talking about foreign aid, giving billions of dollars to people like the Muslim Brotherhood, and you're talking about we're trillions of dollars in the hole, and we're giving billions to our enemies. How smart is that?
Well, duh. I ain't smart enough to say, right? I don't have a job at the D.C. What is that? What would you call that place called the Congress now? Anyway.
Yeah.
Words come to my head, but I can't say them. I don't believe in them, boys. I'm telling you, I do not believe one word they say. Not one of those in the House do I believe. Not one.
Now we have McConnell, and I heard again this morning that Cornyn's out there working against
Cruz.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
Which side of the fence does he wake up on each morning? Yesterday afternoon, I heard he was going to be in support of Ted Cruz's bill. Now this morning, I'm hearing, well, nope, that's not right. He and Mitch McConnell's running around out there trying to poo-poo the plan.
Well, we're just a bunch of dummies.
Well, there's one side of it's the public deal. Publicly, I'm opposed to this. You know, I'm supporting Cruz, and I'm opposed to Obamacare.
Let me tell you.
The other one is he really? Is he really?
Yeah. Liar, liar, pants
I'm
on
getting
fire,
before
looking to
any
another.
Republican group I can get in front of and tell them they have to quit being in love with their incumbents.
Mm-hmm.
This has to stop.
God, I'd give anything to see that one time, a clean house sweep.
This has to stop. And we'll work and work and work to make sure that message gets out there.
I don't think we're ever going to get this straightened up, guys.
You know, collectively, they've taken us down this path.
Oh, man.
Both parties.
For years.
Well, our best approach may be what Mark Levin suggested, which is that we do a state or people-oriented constitutional convention.
Nope.
And if we had the majority of the states in the United States right now are voting conservative. It's only the left coast and the west coast that vote the other way. So, East Coast and West Coast. So if we actually had the majority of the states vote on to do the amendments that have been recommended by Mark and Ben, we might be able to get this thing back on track.
And who the hell would that be? Who do we have in any seat in Congress or the Senate or the state legislature or the state Senate right now who could push that through without a bobble from the progressives? I don't know who's who anymore. I know a few.
We've got some pretty.
I know
we
a
got
few.
some pretty good ones here in Tarrant County.
But that ain't
pretty
going to
good
get the
Tarrant
job
County.
done. Man, that's a
No, but
risk
hell.
that I don't think we can afford to take. I mean, we're almost hair-lipped either way we go. I'm afraid the progressives would take over.
Well, and that's been my concern in the past, but I'm getting to the point where I'm not sure if we don't go that route that we can't correct things.
Well,
Because
that's
I'm
the whole
afraid
problem.
Right now,
We're not sure. And we can't be sure because those we thought we believed in have lied like the devil to us.
Guy, help me out here. Constitutional Convention, correct me if I'm wrong, that opens the Constitution up.
Wide open.
And it can be gutted. It can be anything can be written inside there.
Absolutely.
It seems to me the problem isn't with the Constitution. It seems to me the problem is with this government not following the Constitution.
Absolutely. We got a great Constitution. In fact, if we could get the right people elected, we could get rid of some of the amendments that are in the original Constitution. That would on a repeal basis. And not open this thing up to Pandora's box. But who's going to run the show, Craig? Who's going to run it?
The other side of that is maybe we come out with a state-originated constitutional amendment.
Mm.
If Texas were to originate a constitutional amendment and then get other states to sign off on it,
yeah,
that way you don't
There
have
you
to
go.
do a whole convention.
Boy, honey, you know what? You're optimistic.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Well,
for
let
you.
me say one more time
I'm
to
not.
everybody.
I don't see it.
Let me say one more time to everybody in the audience. If you want to stop this thing in its tracks, you have to rise up. You have to melt the phones. And I mean get Mitch McConnell and all those sorry SOBs on the phone in the Senate and give them an earful.
You know what? You know what people are having a problem with right now? They're having a problem with getting their name out front because they don't know that they're not being labeled and notes are being taken on them.
Well, of course we're being labeled. That's what they spent the past few days. The Tea Party's extortionist, Tea Party's that. The only one that hasn't mentioned Tea Party, and it's because he knows we'll become unhinged, is the president. He doesn't mention them by name. But you have Reid and Pelosi and those bastards.
Should be.
I said bastards.
Oh no, we
Those
didn't.
bastards.
Oh no, we didn't say that.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, okay, good.
I did. I did say it.
Bastards.
I'm guilty. Hello, NSA. Anyway, they went out there. They call us those names. They do it again and again and again in lockstep, just like Gestapo would do. Mm-hmm. Propaganda, one after the other, with the president. I mean, with the media in tow.
In tow.
Spewing it.
Yeah, and goose step, lockstep as well.
Yes. Unbelievable bunch of crap. And people, you have to stand up.
I'd like to have one congressman call us right now and say, I'm with you all the way.
You bet.
They don't have the cojones to take a position because they're afraid they're going to lose that cushy job.
Yeah.
And you know what, folks? The only way that the Republicans, the real conservatives in this country can ever serve again is to act like the Democrat progressives because they know they're not going to get the vote if they act against them.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't give them Obamacare, they're not going to get voted back in. And they're afraid as hell of that.
Rick, speaking of cushy jobs, Lois Lerner,
Oh, boy.
who is now retiring with her 6-figure salary.
Boy, would I like to slash some
And,
of that.
we're going to be posting a picture of her country home this afternoon.
Poor Miss Lerner.
Poor Miss Lerner.
Now, they
Let's all
perpetrated
feel sorry.
that IRS scandal at the time that they released and broke the story. That was all planned, guys. Because before then, nobody but maybe the Tea Party leaderships across this nation knew that they were getting these weird questionnaires from the Internal Revenue Service. An illegal organization at best.
And they're still getting them.
And they're still getting them.
And meanwhile, we got all this mess going on. We're under sequester. The military's hurting like hell. And now we have John Kerry.
Oh boy, there's a leader.
Going to spend $10 million to fight gender-based violence.
Yeah.
Now, is that the job
Where is that
of
money
the Secretary
going
of
to?
State?
Where's that money going to?
Craig, is that the job of the Secretary of State?
No, it's not.
He doesn't have jurisdiction. Somebody please tell him.
What the hell is going on?
Why don't we send him back to Vietnam so he can really do a tour? He likes to claim
It
it.
said
I think that'd be a good one.
It says right here, the State Department today announced that John Kerry would spend $10 million to prevent and respond to gender-based violence in a humanitarian emergency
Easy for you to
worldwide.
say. Oh, boy.
Worldwide.
Now, that's really his job, isn't it? Now, where's that money going?
What? What are we doing?
How's he going to do that? How does anybody
I
do
guess
that?
he just gets the money and throws it out there in a bucket. I don't know. How does he get it? Where does he get the authority to spend that much money on that kind of crap?
Well, we got lots of money, don't you know?
How much is it?
$10 million.
$10 million?
Which sounds like a drop in the bucket, but you know what? It all adds up.
Well, it's angel dust for something.
Well, I'm just thinking, how many billions of dollars have we sent to the Muslim Brotherhood and Al Qaeda in Egypt?
1.5 in Egypt alone.
And what are they doing to the opposite gender over there, raping them in Tahrir Square?
Hey, if you got gender problems over there, you got problems.
It'll take more than $10 million to clean
That's
it up.
right. They'd be dragging you through the streets and throwing bricks at you.
How about instead of giving $10 million, how about cutting $1.5 billion from these Islamic jihadists who are raping women from your funded protest?
Absolutely. What's wrong with that? Tell me, somebody call in and tell us what's wrong with that.
Yeah, 714-242-5220. Join in.
WBTM
We
radio.
know most of our listeners are archived. We're not we're not silly, but I mean, call in.
Now we got listeners from D.C.
Oh yeah, we do.
Call in.
Yeah.
Tell them to call in.
Explain this to us.
Yeah.
Help us.
Explain it away, as we used to talk about in the courtrooms. Well, I can just explain that away.
God.
Mouth's moving. Mouth's moving.
I know. Rick, I assume the State Department just gets X amount of funds to work with, so they can just throw that money out there.
I'm not clear on
It's just money they give
anymore. They printing $85 billion a month, so I don't know how much money they're getting.
Oh, and to go along with that, the White House is celebrating the Bisexual Visibility Day.
Well, that's a good day.
That money, Mel, would be in the continuing resolutions that have been passed.
Mm-hmm. And who funded it?
Budget. Congress.
Who funded it? A Republican Congress.
They should get Paula Jones to be the poster child for that.
Let me tell you.
But they always tell us, each one of them, our district, other districts, well, I voted against that. Oh, you did? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. And then how is it now that all of you Republicans said y'all voted against and it passed? I've got to scratch my butt on this one. I can't figure it out. Y'all all voted against it, did you? Oh, really? And how in the hell did it pass?
And that's the House without a few Republican votes.
There you have it.
Oh, and now speaking of stuff being floated out there in the news by the left wingers, now they're saying baby boomers are gathering for dinner parties to talk about death. Well, I'm sure we're having a whole host of those.
Well, y'all can just
anybody been to one?
Bippy.
Anybody been to one?
Let's see,
No.
I can't think of one that I've been to.
Well,
the only death we were talking about was maybe the death panels in the Obamacare program.
Well, we're doing that, and then they're also bragging about the Dutch, which has a socialist medical system, who used euthanasia to kill 4,188 people last year.
You're kidding.
No.
Sounds like Soviet dream.
Hey,
No.
here's a kicker, guys. All you folks listening out there who have seen a politician, a congressman, a senator at one of these gatherings where the baby boomers are talking about death, if y'all have seen one there, let me know. Now, if any of y'all called in, all you baby boomers out there,
Yeah.
if y'all called in and told one of these politicians that y'all were having these parties,
That's right.
let us know, because I don't know how in the hell they would know we were having these parties.
If you're having a death party anytime soon, let us know.
Yeah.
Or call in here and tell us about it. Now, I'm sure this is going to be more than fun.
Now tell us which one of them jack-legged congressmen were present at the time you had it.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Damn it.
Liars, 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 liars across the board.
Well, Rick, if you repeat a lie often enough, it becomes true.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Unless you're smart enough to know it isn't. And I don't know too many of them that are smart
exactly.
enough to know it's not, because they justify the ends by virtue of the means, and vice versa.
I posted a video last night where that same guy that has done all those crazy petitions, that same group, that same organization, they went out and they did a petition on euthanasia. They did a petition on euthanasia, and people were signing it right and left.
Sure. Oh, I saw it. Yeah. And what does God have to say about this, folks? What does God have to say about it? Listen, you congressmen and you senators, you're jacking in God's business. And I hope you pay for it, because he's going to judge you. And I don't care if you don't believe in him. I do. And it's going to come one day that you're going to be standing in front of a guy at the gates, and he's going to say, You headed south, big boy. You're headed south. You're going to burn in hell for eternity.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I've got to get that clip.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
That's good stuff right there.
There
For
was
the
another
clip.
great,
Say what?
another great clip on that website. They had a clip. They went to the Congressional Black Caucus get together that they were having, and they interviewed a bunch of people that were there and asked them about why the majority of the American people were opposed to Obamacare.
Yeah.
And most of them said it's because they don't understand it if they haven't read it. And then some of them said it's because they're racist and they hate Obama because he's black.
Oh, well,
Oh,
there you have
man.
it.
You know what that
Yeah.
is? That's just... That's
Big
just
old
more
titty
whining,
baby.
more whining by the lip.
You know what? That's about as catch-all as you can get. Let's just call it racism. Now then, when they get it and they start paying through the nose for it, maybe they'll believe that we're not racist. Maybe we're really trying to save them from all of that. But no, you can't go there now because it hadn't happened. But when it happens, hallelujah.
And God, we need to talk about if the answer to our medical problems here in America isn't Obamacare, then what is it? And one of the answers are allowing to sell insurance across state lines. If you can do it for
Why would they
Geico,
not do that?
If you can do it for progressive insurance, why can't you do it for health insurance?
Why haven't they done it? With how many years have they had a chance to do it? How many years have they been talking
Let me tell you
about
why. Let me
Medicare
tell you.
and Medicaid and how bad those two items are? How long have they been talking about it? Lying bunch of
And whenever
SOBs.
we say they, we mean Democrats
And
and
Republicans.
Republicans. Lest we forget, it was George W. Bush who gave us Medicare Part D.
Hey, part of this, too, would be the states themselves, where the insurance companies are allowed to regulate. Am I not right here, Craig?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Where the states have created this monster.
It's about making money,
Yeah.
folks.
Yeah.
It's called an exclusive. That's what it's about.
And for station identification,
WBTM.
Minus 30 seconds and counting.
You know, this used to be a hell of a good country.
That's right. And we're going to do our damn best to make it that again.
Chaos.
Across the board, folks.
T minus 15.
Oh, they're not scared of you.
No,
They're scared of what you represent.
that's right.
10,
Freedom.
9. Ignition sequence start.
What you represent to them is freedom.
You bud.
We have ignition. All
Ignition.
engines are running. We have liftoff. We have liftoff.
this is Chaos Radio number 136 on the WBTM Internet Radio Network.
We become the media.
Coming
because
live
the
to you
media won't
from-
tell us the truth.
From Arlington, Texas. And
Yeah.
we do. There's somebody listening up there. If you want to talk to us, push 1.
That's right.
There you
That's
go.
a 940 number in
Yeah, it is.
Hey guys,
North Texas.
I got a thought for you.
Okay.
We know that this $85 billion a month that you talked about, Rick, being borrowed by our government, $85 billion a month. Think about that from the Federal Reserve. How are they doing that? You got to put something up for collateral. What they're putting up for collateral are Americans' mortgage-backed securities.
Mm-hmm.
Those are mortgages that they're
Yeah.
putting up for collaterals.
Yeah.
Americans have about $50 to $60 trillion in mortgages, and we're giving $1 trillion of that away to the Federal Reserve right now.
Which is an illegal organization.
And a lot of those mortgages are no good. They're underwater.
yeah.
Here's
They don't care.
Here's my other thought. This Obamacare is going to cost us how much a year? And where are we going to get that money from? It's 1/6 of our economy.
There you go.
Maybe what this is about the money, the Federal Reserve,
Yep.
earning interest
There you go.
on all this money that the federal government's spending.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they get a cut on everything that they do for us. That's
Those
capital
those
U.S.
families that we don't know who they are.
Well, we know who
Exactly right. And
Not-
it's a privately owned
Yeah.
bank. Stocks, and here's the thing: they have stockholders, and we don't know who the
It's
stockholders
a scheme.
are.
It's
Well,
a
I can
scheme.
tell you what most of them are. They're Bilderbergers, Club of Rome,
And their
the
children, their
Illuminati?
descendants.
and
we-
at the helm is none other than the Rothschilds.
And you guys, we have a caller. Go ahead, 940.
940.
Good morning.
940 here.
Shoot, you got the stage.
I've got the stage. Well, I'm not really in 940 anymore, but I've used that phone number for so many years that I'm not going to change it.
Well, you still got it then.
I've still got it. That's right. I'm pretty close. I'm in Denton County.
Yeah.
Which part of it is that? But anyway, I've been spending a lot of time the last 2 days trying to make sure that our members of the Senate and the House understood that we don't want Obamacare, and I guess it's still kind of an uphill battle in the Senate. So we all need to get behind it. Trying to call the senators right now is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
But send them a fax or send them a Twitter.
Yep.
And that's what we just got to flood them to the point that they're drowning in our calls saying, "Don't do it."
Yeah, that's good. That's good info, and it's absolutely necessary. However, let me say this, if I may, without being a naysayer, I'm not sure anything does any good anymore. But at least we get our say.
Well, that's partly true, but if we don't say, they sure as hell won't do it. I'm
That's
sorry
right.
I said that.
Well,
But
they should know by now.
We
I'm
have enough
telling
trouble.
you.
I've actually said face to face to some of them, we sent you there to represent us, not make money for yourself. And they don't like to hear that at all. And
No.
that's essentially what they're working on. And they'll say, well, we can't do anything about it in entitlements. I said that to my congressman a whole bunch of times.
Oh yeah.
We can't do anything about entitlements. And I said, wait a minute. You passed them. You can void them. And the same thing is true as Obamacare and anything else they passed.
Yes.
Well,
So
listen,
when they sit there and complain that they can't do anything, I don't know who they've been talking to that told them that.
Yeah, it's not that they can't. It's just that they don't want to.
well, it's a vote.
The will is not there.
There's a vote
It's
behind every one of those
It's easier
checks.
to not do anything. That's right.
Yeah. But I agree with you. I think, if the American people rise up, these things can be changed. But it has to be long and loud.
Now, we've got to do it in the next ballot.
That's right. That also.
We've got to send
Every
them
bit
home.
of it.
We've got to recall some of them in these
Yeah,
states.
I wish Texas had recall law. We need to get that. Done.
It must be the president.
And he-
Well, we're going
Yo-yo
to
knows.
have to do another round of it, especially in the state legislature, because 2 rounds hasn't seemed to do it very well. So we'll go at it one more time and see if somebody gets the message.
Yeah,
Well, this time we have a real chance because a whole bunch of them got a partial message during this last session, and a whole bunch of them are quitting. A whole bunch of Strauss's supporters are quitting.
That's right.
Right.
About time.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like a friend of mine in California that was running for the state legislature said to me one day, he said, there's something about crossing the line, the county line, heading for Sacramento that causes you to acquire infinite wisdom. And that's essentially what we deal with all the time. He nailed it.
Yeah.
And it's even truer when they go to Washington.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
They used to refer to that as Potomac fever.
Well, it's more than a fever. It's a fatal disease. Well, you guys have a good day and keep it up. And
Hey, we appreciate your phone call for sure.
Yes,
We really do.
Well, I have, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I have sent letters to every member of the House and every member of the Senate, called twice every member of the Senate, and sent about 5 faxes of various kinds over the last week or 10 days. So if everybody would do that, they'd have to understand that we may not like what they're doing.
You've got that right, and it has to be, like I said, American people have to rise up, and they have to do it now.
And just for our viewers and listeners, you can find that contact information at LoneStarTeaParty.us.
Yes, go up there to the let me get my eyeballs on it. Go up there and you'll see find your reps up there in the blue menu bar, and you can find your state representative, your House representative, your Senate representative, and your governor. All their numbers, all their information is right there, including their fax numbers. And, the gentleman just had a good idea. Tweet them. Do it all. Make it a point to do something every day for the next 6 days. Go after them.
Okay. Well, thank you, and keep up the good work.
Thank
Have a
you,
good
sir.
day.
Thank you. Okay, that was cool.
Mel, something that's kind of got lost in the midst of all this is we haven't really been talking about immigration as much.
It has been lost. It's in the back of my mind, and I bring it up as much as I possibly can with everything else that's going on. But immigration needs to die right where it's at. Republicans don't need to touch it. Let it die right there.
Did you happen to notice the article in the paper today that pointed out that where immigration of illegal aliens in most states has gone down, it has not gone down in Texas. It is continued and actually increased in Texas.
Yeah,
Well, all those that were coming up from Arizona,
because they're coming here for
to Texas.
jobs, so that because we got a governor that can't keep his mouth shut about it. You want to brag about it, brag about it, brag about it. You got the whole country trying to come here, plus everybody can trip across the border.
Did I hear our Democratic governor's name mentioned?
Yeah, I heard it. You heard it mentioned. You didn't hear his name. You just heard it say governor.
Oh,
And I would like to remind everybody that these illegal immigrants are responsible for killing 25 Americans and molesting 8 American children every single day.
Every day. Every
Now,
day.
How's that working out for us, Mr. Congressman?
Yeah, now that's more than was killed at the naval shipyards. That may not be as many as were killed in Chicago last night or last weekend.
Well, that's a whole different story.
But I mean, you know, of course, we're going to spend money on bisexuals and transgenders, and meanwhile let Chicago, the black youth up there, go to hell,
well,
killing
it ain't
each
about
other.
that. That's Capone's city. It's been a mess ever since he existed. They talk about Chicago politics. They don't say Illinois politics. They say Chicago politics. And where did these people come from? Who is that guy that's mayor up there right now? What's his past?
Rahm Emanuel.
What's his dad's
Chief of
past?
Staff of the White House.
What's his dad's past?
I don't know, but you know what?
Oh, yeah, we do.
You know what? That rag-headed SOB getting off that Iranian airplane up there in New York City, they should have arrested him on the spot.
Oh, and they'll kiss his butt for the next 3
I
or
don't
4
care.
days.
I don't care if he does have immunity at the UN or whatever. They should have arrested his butt right there. Crimes against humanity is all they had to say.
Who are you
That's
talking
what they
about?
say on everything else. Ayatollah Akahola, whatever his name is.
Not the one from Iran.
The new,
Yeah.
the new president of Iran. The new president of Iran.
Yeah, the one Obama's going to shake his hand.
Oh, more than that, he'll have a closed-door session.
Oh, yeah,
with him.
yeah. Hey, this will be a guy I can work with.
You betcha.
Hey, Rick.
Hey,
Rick, the White House has no public tours, but there have been 344 logged. They're just the ones we know about. Visits by lobbyists to the White House.
I know it.
I wonder if there's a
Incredible.
video. I wonder if there's a video of that.
And what is our Congress doing? They just keep on funding it. Anything that comes down the pike, they fund it.
And I guess that's one of the very frustrating things that we have with Republicans. They're not talking about Benghazi. They're not talking about the IRS targeting the Tea Party or any number of these other
Are
scandals.
they doing anything about it at all, much less talking about it? I don't want to hear them talking about it. I'm tired of them talking because their talk is idle. It is empty.
You guys,
Hey,
you guys mentioned all that foreign aid we were spending a while ago.
Yeah.
We're spending billions to build buildings in Afghanistan.
Well, that's because they don't know how to build them.
Well, Obama
Well,
said
yeah, but
Redistribution of wealth.
And right now we're handing the government, believe it or not, over to Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. Barack Obama said that we're going to invite Al-Qaeda to the negotiation table.
oh yeah,
And that's why Karzai flew off the handle here a couple months ago.
yeah.
So this enemy that our troops have died for fighting,
Bye.
Yeah.
now we're going to hand the government over to them.
Hey,
So what the hell were we doing over there fighting for all
It's
these years?
Looney Tunes.
Well, you
It's
know,
Looney
thanks.
Tunes. This is what happens when you put politicians in charge of the war.
That's right. Yeah, they send you to one. They don't ever fight it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know about that. Vietnam.
Hey, y'all ever heard of sexting?
Yep.
Well, here's a new deal now. A couple in Chicago were caught driving down the highway on video, mind you, having sex while driving down the highway. Now, there's a law against texting. Is there any law against the real sexting
I don't know. I guess it would be.
while you're driving down the highway?
I don't know. We'll have to check the law.
The question I have in my mind was
And
a
the-
car an automatic or a stick shift?
The point
Yeah.
in my mind is did it really take his mind off the road?
Well, I guess that all depends on her.
Oh gosh!
You can't make this crap
You can't
up.
make it up. It's got to, it happened in Chicago.
Well, if he's weaving, there's certainly a law
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
Failing to maintain single lane.
That's the reason the doctors are bracing for a surge in patients.
Hey, there's another group. Where are the doctors?
Did
The
y'all hear about-
doctors are retiring.
Did y'all hear about the guy who overdosed on Viagra?
No.
And he had to have it was up for a few days, and he ended up having to go have an amputation.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
Really?
Side note. Anyway, let's move on.
Well, I said it's always still there. You know, they say that 4 hours thing. You know, you're getting that for 4 hours. And my deal was, hey, I'm calling the media.
Calling all my
You know?
buddies.
Hey,
Calling all my buddies.
yeah. So,
Got you beat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we have to get light every once in a while. We just
Yeah.
we can't keep just
Yeah. We have to
beating
laugh.
ourselves up.
We have to laugh. To keep from
Yes, we do.
crying.
Yes, we do.
You know, it's just
And-
unbelievable. And I so wish that somebody would call their boss and tell him to call in. You know, one of you listening to the show, call your boss over there and tell, hey, look, you need to call in.
One of our NSA buddies.
No, it'd be one of our congressmen.
Hey, why would flights be booked going to Venezuela for months? Months you had to make months ahead to get a reservation to go there.
Who the hell wants to go to Venezuela?
What is going on that Venezuela has got all this traffic of people going? Is it dope? I mean, when I think of Venezuela, that's kind of what I think of.
Go down and shake the hands of the new president.
I
Go
don't get it.
go by the Capitol and just hang out for a while and see if you can see him. He's just another socialist. Socialist, that's a real kind word.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I meant communist. Oh, no, we don't use that word anymore. Remember how they killed the word communism? Yeah, that's progressivism now. Yeah. Okay, well, I was digressing.
Let me see.
But we're not smart enough to know these things, guys. Y'all
The
know
world's more stable than it was 5 years ago. Anybody believe that?
that. No, it's not. It's less.
You.
Who's saying that? Where does that come from?
Guess who? Guess who's saying that?
MSNBC.
No.
CNN.
No. You got to go higher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The White House.
Yeah. Obama.
Well, of course they're saying that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. The
that's
world is more stable.
That's because you got to spin.
Yeah.
How many terrorist attacks and incidences of workplace
Well,
violence
not
have we
only
had under
that,
this
the Muslim
administration?
Brotherhood's got everything in a turmoil. I mean, Egypt's economy's been decimated. I mean, it's more stable.
Here's the question. How many Muslim Brotherhood, Al-Qaeda, Hamas, Hezbollah, armed bandits are coming to the U.S.?
That's a real good question because any of them can come across the open borders down there
Well,
up there.
They've got those little wait stations down there along the border, where they can get them a drink and maybe a little bit of food.
Oh, yeah.
Make a phone call.
Get them a ham sandwich.
Yeah, and they got 4 different languages painted on the side of that building.
I don't think they're getting a ham sandwich.
That's what I would do. I would hang ham sandwiches on them.
Well,
You know what? I've got a good idea to do with the pigs.
Oh, no, he's thinking again.
We can take those pigs that they're having a problem with up here, take them down on the border.
Hey, there
Oh,
you
they're
go.
down there already. We're talking wild boars.
We got a lot of wild boars down there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're all over that
I
country.
like them. I like it.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Feral hogs, they're called.
Yeah, where they, what? They may not know feral hogs.
Well, it's a major problem for all the South. Feral hogs is kind of like a feral cat. Wild cat, these are wild hogs, but they were at some point in time domesticated. Oh, well. They're everywhere.
This is our goofy time right now.
I wonder if they know that. Maybe we need to advertise that. They won't walk across that dirt. Those feral hogs are all in that country.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, I'm telling
We
you.
need to announce that there are pigs
we
and
can go
hogs
to
all
our,
over the southern border.
Hamas friends right here in Arlington and spread the word. They can get the word out.
over
for us.
Hey,
at
that's
the
a good
Beirut
idea.
Cafe.
That's a good idea. We can march around over there with our pet pigs.
Yep. Here at the United
Everybody-
States Hamas headquarters.
Beirut Cafe.
If you don't have a pet pig, get one.
That's
I'm
right there
telling
on
you.
the south side of the University of Texas Arlington parking lot. Right there on Cooper.
They're just like little dogs. Get you one.
Get you one. Yeah, we used to kill 60, 70, 80 of those a year on that ranch I hunted in South Texas. They're everywhere. I mean, they're all over the southwestern country. They are a bad, bad thing.
You can dress them
They're
out.
like feral. They
Depend-
had trapped a bunch of feral hogs up in the park up on the north side of town here not too long ago.
Oh, yeah. They're
River
everywhere.
Legacy Park.
They're all over Texas. They migrate. And actually, they're really good eating because they're very lean. They're not.
They are lean.
They're not fed out in a
Yeah.
pen. They forage in the wild. They scrap for their food.
Yeah, they do. Even pigs, even domestic pigs that are released into the wild, grow those tusks.
Oh, absolutely. They're all bred from the same.
Because there's
original
about
hog.
4,000 a year that are released in the Kiamichi Mountains up in Oklahoma, that in Arkansas, that helps supplement those people that live up there in the mountains. It helps supplement their incomes, that they're able to get out and hunt the hogs and the deer and such like that.
Yeah. Just
Now
like
there-
you can trace all dogs, all breeds of dogs, back to the wolf. That's where they came from.
But I don't think they planned on recently releasing so many that they're out of control.
Well, listen, they're trapping them all over this country.
Yeah, they are.
There is a commercial value to those right now, and the price of feral hogs is up. I have rancher friends all over this country, and you can trap them and sell them by the pound. Not a bad living. You can make a living. It just, the market vacillates.
And you can get you a TV show.
Heck yeah.
Well, you
Why
can
not?
do just about anything and get a TV show. These
Well,
days.
right now, even Uncle Si's got him a new book out called Psychology.
There you go.
I can't wait to get it. I may do that this afternoon. That's got to be wacky, crazy, and funny. And every once in a while, you need funny,
Well,
because this is depressing.
our buddy must have left to make a report.
Uh-oh. That means Mr. Sean Brown left us to go give his report to Joe.
Barton.
Yeah.
Yeah, he listens every week.
Yeah. That's cool, though. We're proud to have him.
Yeah, I mean, they've been told they can come on a radio show anytime
Yes,
they want
they
to.
have.
And
They
they
can-
can explain all of this away
They
and
can
tell us
die.
how
You know
they
what?
voted.
We're going to get, Rick, we're going to get us a red phone. Put it right there.
Yeah.
The dial-in phone for any congressman, politician wants to call in.
Call me.
Call us.
Call me.
That's right. Call in here.
It's not ringing.
Tell us what you think, or thinking, or what you're going to do.
These people make me
I
absolutely
mean, you're not hearing
sick at my
you're not
stomach.
hearing one ring-a-dingy, two ring-a-dingy.
No, don't
Nah,
hear.
we ain't heard no ring-a-dingies
Nope.
yet.
No. Called in one time, hadn't called back.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys see the article that the Department of Energy spent $603 million to try to prove up biofuels and that it was a failure?
God damn. You know where that money went? It didn't go on that damn study.
Yeah,
bet you-
I know.
that money
bet
went to the wind.
I bet you it went in a lot of people's pockets.
Didn't go to no shovel-ready jobs.
No hell.
Nah.
Oh well, hey, $920 million. That was one thing, but another $920 million of stimulus money went into funding some of this bio stuff.
Jesus Christ. Boy, they doing it to us, and we can't do a damn thing about it, it seems. They got us bent over a barrel.
And now the ethanol people, they've been running ads, the truth about ethanol. Here you go. And it's probably a bunch of lies and BS, too. I mean, it makes no sense to make fuel out of food. So all you're doing is running the cost of your food up.
Yeah.
Just doesn't
Oh, I
do
mean,
it.
hey, we're going to Soylent Green anyway.
That's right. We are going to Soylent Green. And matter of fact is that movie was on television just a week or so ago.
I recorded it on DVR every once in a while.
Matter of fact, I think it was somebody was asking me. He said, "Well, what's Soylent Green?" I said, "Well,
Soylent Green is
Soylent
people."
It's people. That's right." Whoa. And
Didn't you love the way Edward G. Robinson went in there and allowed them to kill him in order to have Charlton Heston follow him to the plant and see what happened?
Exactly. Actually, that movie was pretty cool, and that I think that stage was set. Let me see. It may have been another movie I was watching. That it was 19. They had gone into the future to. I think it was 1925. or 2025. So we're not that
2025,
we're
yeah.
not that far off from it.
No. Man, sounds like it's coming. Hey, does anybody truly out there in La La Land or on the air with us at this time have a clue what the answer to this is going to be? Maybe a wag, a wild ass guess.
Wait, answer to what?
What's happening? How it's going to end up?
Oh, how all this is going to end up?
Well, I'll give my 2 cents on it. I think that we're going to see, one, a collapse in the economy.
There you go.
2, I think we're going to see a culmination of World War III. I think you're going to see millions, maybe hundreds of millions of people dead. And it's going to be the reset button all over the world. I think at that time, this is why it's so important that we are able to provide the answers. And the answer is freedom, in a word, because we're going to have the opportunity as a society, as a country, as a state. What direction are we going here? Are we going to kick it up a level and go into world government? Are we going to fold into world government? Are we going to put the brakes on here and say, not here in Texas, we're not?
Well, we don't have anybody here that we can depend on to
If
get
you,
that done.
yeah, if you look at the scenario that Beck was painting, where all these groups were cooperating with each other, the Muslims, and the socialists and the communists, and all these different groups working together, as all this stuff comes to a head, those groups right there will start fighting each other. They're cooperating right now, but eventually the world domination group among them, because they all want to dominate the world.
But the Muslims will win out because of
They'll end up fighting.
Yeah.
Right now, the fight better happen right now because we're the ones with the big sticks.
Hey, y'all remember that boat that this guy built way back there when put all those humans and all those animals on it because of the big flood?
Jim Carrey.
Noah.
Oh.
Jim Noah. I think that's coming again.
Yeah, he said the next time it'd be by fire, though, not by
That's
flood.
right. It won't be by flood. It'll be by fire. And what does war create? Fire.
Talking about nuclear war.
Any war.
Especially nuclear war. Especially nuclear war.
Well, guys, too, I was reading up on. Did y'all know that there's 750,000 families here in America that are totally living off the grid? Isn't that incredible?
That are living off the grid.
Off the grid.
750,000.
Wow, that's
families.
a good number. And hey, we have another phone call. We're going to go straight to it. This is a 405 area code. Good morning.
Hey, Mel, it's Katie. I still have my Oklahoma phone number.
Oh, okay. How are you doing, Katie?
Well, I'm doing great. It's good to see Rick back in the saddle, though.
Yes, he
Back
is.
in the saddle again.
And he's a big singer this morning.
Back where a friend is a friend. Okay, go ahead,
We know
Katie.
the voice is still holding tryout, so we got to get you on there.
Yeah, really. How are you, dear?
Well, I'm doing much better, but it's so much fun watching you guys on the TV.
Yeah.
Well, actually on my computer on the TV, but it's a lot of fun watching you guys. Is this the first day you've been doing this?
This is we had done a couple of little short test deals that we didn't say anything to anybody about. But, this is the first time we've done it with sound with it.
And ain't we pretty?
My favorite hero.
But we're going to have some fun with that. We're going to and we're also going to do here in the coming weeks our first online television show.
Wow, that's going to be great. Hey, listen, I just saw that Lois Lerner retired. I guess I don't know where I was yesterday, but I must have missed it. Have you guys talked about that today?
Yes, we have talked about that briefly, and she did retire with her pension. From what we understand, and I'm not too sure that's a six-figure pension. Most federal employees, I don't think, get actually a six-figure. I don't know whether that's true or not. Craig could probably be a better give a better answer to that than I can. Would that be right, Craig? Are you still there?
Craig went to sleep on it.
Craig fell asleep. We put him to sleep. That was your song, Rick, that did that.
Yeah, I know it's my fault. Hell, everything at the house is my fault,
But,
so why not here?
Yeah, I would be interested to know that she's actually getting a 6-figure pension. Then again, she might be. But she lives in quite the house out in the country. We've got a picture of that this morning that we're going to post.
Oh, that'll be interesting. I'll put it on Facebook and spread it around for you as well. Did you hear anything about Julie from the Northeast Tarrant Tea Party, that she was being hassled by her bank for making cash withdrawals?
Really?
And hinting at her that she was money laundering?
Oh, yeah.
Was she making cash out of her personal account or out of the Northeast?
Out of her personal account. And the bank called her and said that they had noticed that she had been taking out large amounts of money and that they were required by law to contact her for possible money laundering.
It depends on the amount.
I would tell that bank.
Think this is a big
I would
story.
tell that bank to stuff it, and then I would take my money out of it, and I would be gone.
Yep, I'd find a privately held bank.
That's right. Now
Mom
you
and
know.
pop bank, and I'd put my money.
I already went through that with Chase Bank, where I took a substantial amount of it because their support for Acorn here back a few years ago. And, you know, they couldn't believe that's the reason I was taking it out of there, because of their support to Acorn. But, you know, I made them give it to me in cash. Mm-hmm. They said, well, we don't have that kind of cash here.
You better.
I said, well, it's right. I said, you better, or I'm going to be on the phone.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they
So
had
how long
it.
did it take them?
It took them about, I felt they were jacking with me. It took them a couple of hours. So,
They were
you know,
making
but
phone
I did
calls.
walk out there with, you know, with kind of goofy with a bag full of money.
And I would also tell them, Katie, I would say those lips you're running right now, I got a place you can put them.
Yeah.
Well, I think she should get a hold of Greta's producer. She's been on Greta Van Sustren's program a couple of times.
Sure.
Well, you know
and
what?
So she has a contact there. I would be on Greta right now, and I'd be calling every major media and
We-
let them know what's going on, because this is wrong.
I'll talk to her. We'll post that story up. It seems like they have a tendency of, I don't know whether they read the Lone Star TeaParty.us or not, but a lot of stories we put up there make it on the national news within just the next couple of days, if not sometimes
Well, you
even
guys-
maybe a week.
You guys are doing a fabulous job, Mel, and I just wanted to call in this morning and tell you how proud I am of the good job you're doing, and just thank both of you for everything you're doing for our great country.
Well, we follow Jake on Twitter, and we get all his stuff, and tell Jake we said hi, and we thank him for
good.
everything that he does for us. That's for sure. That would be Jake Baker,
Bless
everybody.
you guys.
Thank you, dear.
God bless you.
All right.
We all
Have a
appreciate
wonderful
it.
day. Love you.
And say hi to Josh, too, because he's part of this. Josh.
Yeah, Josh is sitting over there across from us. He's not in the picture of the video. But we're going to get multiple cameras here. We'll be switching back and forth there
We
pretty soon.
couldn't get him to sit between us.
Yeah. It was getting kind of too cozy. But, hey, we're having fun with all this and in between all the seriousness of it all. So and we try and keep a good attitude about it.
We need to probably have
All
a
right.
run on these banks and everybody go in and pull all their money out
You
one
bet.
day.
You bet.
These bankers are
Take
part
care.
of the problem that we've had for 50 years.
Yep. Okay. Well,
Hot shot.
thank you, darling.
Hot shot.
Oh, she's gone. She gone,
She gone.
as they say in Duck Dynasty. He gone. She gone.
Well, you know, the banking regulations will allow you to take so much money out in one transaction. And if you don't meet that requirement, then obviously I think there's a problem here. But, you know, I would have put their feet to the test right quick. Who the hell do you think you're threatening? Now, let's watch this. I'm going to take all my money out. And that's what I'd have done.
It's your money.
Yeah. Well, they don't think so. They don't think so. I'd have taken it all out that very second and just go ahead
There you go.
Guys, I know we only have a few minutes left. I want to kind of, at least before we end the show, bring some positive stuff to it. No, even though we know there's tough times coming, we are Americans.
Yep.
And somehow we always figure it out. And I firmly believe that America's best days are still ahead of us. Our standard of living is going to shoot through the roof. There's a mountain to climb to get to the other side, but we're going to get there.
Yeah.
And we're going to live in a land of freedom. And the status quo that we're living under right now, this oppressive spirit that's in our land right now, is not going to remain here forever.
Yeah. Well, when it happens, the people are going to come running from their houses.
One thing that's happening is it's manipulated to be this way. You get these families, the mother and the father, working 70, 80 hours a week. There's only 168 hours a week, folks. You get the kids in school for 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
And by the time they get home, there's no wonder they just turn on Monday Night Football and let it wash over.
Well, or the kids never take their nose out of their tablets or their phones, their cell phones, which I'm telling everybody right now, get the kids out on the weekends, get them away from the electronic crap. Mm-hmm. Get them away from it.
Yep, they got to.
Yeah, I just there's a quote by Einstein, and hopefully I can get it right here, that whenever society starts relying on technology for interaction instead of human interaction, then you'll have a generation of idiots.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what Einstein said.
And if your schools are not teaching cursive writing anymore, it's up to you to teach your children how to write in cursive. It's important that they do that.
But Rick, what you said is right. Whenever the economy collapses, if it doesn't, God knows, I hope it certainly doesn't. But if it were to collapse, and we have something like 9/12, 9/13, where we didn't go to work, remember?
Yes.
And that's a prolonged period.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody in America is just kind of standing around looking at each other. What's going on? What happened? Well, then they're going to want these answers.
Mm-hmm. All of them.
Everybody's going to
finally be wanting these answers.
That's right. And we got a couple minutes left, and I want to make one more announcement. The guy that was in jail over producing the video that that they tried to blame on Benghazi, he's being freed this week. He's out of jail. That's probably a good thing because he probably didn't belong there in the first place. Not over that. Not over that.
Well, I can think of 2 or 3 people that should be taking his place.
That's right.
Barack Obama, Susan Rice, to name 2 of them.
Nancy Pelosi, for all she and
Hillary
her husband,
Clinton.
sir, all she and her husband have robbed us from. Harry Reid, he and all his sons that work as what do you call it? Hell.
I don't know. What is it?
They probably do work.
I know he's got a job.
Yeah.
He's got a big cushy
Yeah, his
job,
sons, they all go seek politicians for money. What do you call those?
Lobbyists.
Lobbyists. There you go. Lobbyists.
Something that nobody else is talking about is a genocide that's going on in Libya right now. 30% of their population is black, and they are being targeted by these Arab Muslims. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Barack Obama, who's just ended a high-dollar vacation over there, didn't have anything to say about it.
No.
He didn't have
Neither does this media have anything to say about it.
90 seconds.
He's part of the problem.
And we're down to 90 seconds, and I want to warn everybody, when you go to the produce aisle, they caught a guy the other day in a store wee-weeing on the produce.
Well, maybe we need to cut.
So you have second thoughts about that now when you make sure you wash your vegetables.
And let me say one more
thing. That is a public service announcement. Go ahead, Rick.
A whole bunch of congressmen need to be right there, too.
That's right.
For not standing up for the guy that got sent to jail for
60
a fabricated
seconds.
lie.
Yep. And with that,
Happy trails.